Continuing from the last program, and a true and faithful relation that would pass for many years between Dr. John Dee and some spirits, according to Meric Casaubon in 1659. Valde letor ad eo magis, quod tam ex nostris praeteritis ed constater poturit motus ex nobilis, quam ex futuris quibus inter esse adessa prenses se ita eda visum fiorit vestra posit majestas regia ex praeteritarum nostrorum actionem libros 24 paratas sum quocunque vestra serenissima majestate placurit tempor videndos exhiber quorune quadam Latina lingua Graeca alea Anglica lingua sed ex maxima parte Anglica sunt conscriere pra ipsa actiones angelorum vis die bonorum instructions admonitions exhortations concions prophetia eo quacunque aleo sunt conceda nomen nobis facta revelations relis vel verbalis eo pur spatium jam aureum vere honorum a nobis recepta eo annotata, etc. And in their holy place in Polenza in alla regia presenta ipso Stefano rega Albertus Lasca, etc. D. Luna, May 27th. Main Horum, 7 Cricketer in Camera Previta Regis. And in the margin, in Lepidique Angelus Mehe edixit ut prescriptum erat nostra actio cum codum, Albertus Lasky, Edward Kelly, D, the triangle, and Edward Kelly. Further on, that was everything in Latin. Angelique omnia dicta erant usoc ad verbum ad etc. D. Latin hac sunt verbatim dicta. D. Nota quod hac Stephane regis reprehensio incipitic but Latin ad hac diction verbum quamadmodum pradixit male Cracovia forte Uriel Bohemia agament alter existent vide June 24th, Angelic Hoc Dixit. Okay, so Tuesday they're speaking English. So May 27th. Let's review what we're going to get ourselves into. They're thanking God for the warning through these good angels about the, about the problems about their own country, and angels of the cause here and there, some to the secret judgments, the testimony, advancing a divine bond, champion, friendly to the Catholic and the Orthodox, and nonetheless even more of an enemy to every Antichrist. And God's the one with the power, God's the one with the wisdom, and the laws are just and holy. The showbread in the temple, the goodness of that bread, and consuming the living bread, and the manna, and all those other sorts of symbols, right? Nothing appeared in the first prayer, and the third prayer was a glow, and there was a man in white clothes, messed up hair, but tied up, kind of resembling the movement of air in his appearance, had a light behind him. There's been times where it was like there was a light around me walking in the dark, and it wasn't some outer light or something. The they're of course praying in the name of the Christian Trinity, and they're working with the stone that one of the beings brought to him. Not sure exactly what that means. Was it like Joseph Smith? Some being was supposed to have shown him a stone in a, somewhere, and he picked it up. Did something happen and it dropped before him? Or a lot of these stories, true or not, are hard to distinguish those exact details of it. I think it's written somewhere, but in regards to Dr. John Dee, the water goes towards the west, carries the feet with it many times, and he looks at his face. All this talk about a mountain of fire and water head towards the west, that's very relevant to what's going on right now in my country, and it may happen before this video is released. I don't know. To a very serious extent. A fiery globe, various observances, water in the sea, a fire that has surrounds, and there are 52 symbols, but it's not about the symbols, of course. It's about justice and mercy. The Sephiroth, basically. Not sure that's what they mean. He praises the creator of the heavens and the earth, the feet and the head. A way of interpreting that. And then everything becomes a fiery globe. Right now there's a lot of volcanic activity, like 50 volcanoes going off at once. Or wait, was that 51? Did another one add? But the stone in this vision is covered with a smoke. That's one thing promised as one of the end times things. There'll be a smoke come, and a lot of the technology we have will be taken away as a result. And there's words have been said in English, into verbum et so on, and the council sown, and the passages were said in Latin word for word. Note that the reprimand of King Stephen began in Latin with the word verbum, just as she had said before. So a woman in green said that verbum shall be the first word where the Lord shall show himself unto him. And he reprimands King Stephen. There's a lot of stuff here going on. And, you know, who's called you to be so lively here, you know? Why have you introduced gloom? You know, you're supposed to be path of joy. I don't remember what passage of the Quran I came across recently about, you know, find your bliss, basically, that sort of thing. It didn't start with Joseph Campbell, but it's not exactly, you know, some psychopathic, I enjoy it, or I think I'll enjoy it, so it's the right thing. No, that's not exactly what's going on. But you know, Stephen's called. He can keep a distance, and God doesn't have, you know, if he's not going to be vomiting per se, and not paling, as you could say. The poisoning of the wealth and the woman, and you know, and the whorish woman, and all this Revelations thing. But the, you know, you can take the side of the angels that surround you and all that. Heart of the people estranged, you know, being cleansed, the strength of your right hand, if your right hand is just, of course, your enemies defeated per se, heavenly blessings, make your affairs fruitful as far as you're, you know, involving yourself in that way, but open your mouth justly from the throne. And Bohemia and various other places don't have to be, you know, hateful unto heaven, basically. And there are ways that he was delivered and ways that he can be delivered. Just be obedient and in terror. But I would think it's more like what we find in like the Quran or something, where it's the regard or something. Of course, the Judeo-Christian view is more towards guilt, shame, and fear than developing a regard and a sense of worthiness. But then again, you're here you're talking about, you know, there's a lot of fear about to your very bowels and whatnot. But it's, you know, about fixing the whole thing. And they adhere, and then, you know, they have the opportunity that God will join in as the avenger. And the words of the action the day before, the God of heaven and earth, place, you know, Dee and Kelly before them for their opportunity. They said at 8 a.m. the prayers, guide us to the holy mount of Zion, etc. Well, they know, right, that Zion is not just some blood and soil thing. You know, they're versed in the Bible, and there's no political alliance to the blue stripers, as you could say. So the interpretation was a bit different. When my grandmother was a kid, it was the same thing, that, you know, there was no state of Israel. And, you know, so they didn't have to be, you know, it was about setting a good example. We were all supposed to set a good example. And then it became, yeah, they thought they were generally unworthy if it wasn't for Jesus. But, you know, hey, we're still supposed to learn and be good and stuff. You saw my interview with my grandmother. Maybe most people have it. But anyways, it's at the head of my questions list. Some people criticize me because I picked somebody that wasn't well known to start the list. But I mean, you know, around here, there would have been hundreds of people at her funeral if it, you know, if she died, you know, in her when she was 70 or 60s or something. But anyways, well, you know, that's what we hear. And wait 7 days before seeking an answer. kindle the fire of love and faith and honor and praise and always. And, because I thought I'd proceed with all that, because, we have page after page after page of just straight up Latin. So, omnipotens, sempiterna vera una Deus, et tu misericordis pater meque me de patria mea functa contra me concepta medicea per angelas tuas honest admoniste eo per costum inde mecum uxor liberis eo familia mea istisc duabus egrede justiste eo egredientes nos ex certibus maris quasi miraculose liberaste etque ex hamicidiarum eo hereticorum manibus eo fraudibus veris nos expendimeste etque multis nos modus partem nobis cognitis partem incognitis apericulis eo morte protexiste abco tempore quod et tua secreta judicia eo negotia testificanda tractanda eo promovenda nos vocaste eo propter hanc tuum tantum eo tuum admirabilis misericordiam immortalis tibi a nobis debere lande eo gratias humissim agnoscamus autu pater nostra clementissim que nos tuos vinculo tuo divino artissimo copulaste eo quasi unum ex tuabus esse vero iste autu fortissim Dios manoque hanc tuum lasce quasi athletum meum catissimum animissimum eo meum amantissimum nobis adjunxiste verum catholica tua eo orthodox a regionis amantissimum eo ante Christianisme omnis acremum hostum denic eo sapientismo potentissim eo optim Deus eo pater meus que tuis mox incimbiendis regis magius murificae connectibus quem setib as regum tandem inveneste Stephanum tuum futurum bellatorum quies tuas mutue eo justit ex animis tatis suis verbas eo maximo zelo abedir veris eo quae nas honorem eo obedientiam eo exhibiamus in mandatis dedisti eo propter quem laboris tibi natas un subiremus eo sustenuremus statnuste eo ad quem pas liberorsas peregit nationes nostre multiplicis quidem praeter menscis factas directas aliquas alias ante humano judicio quasi retrogradas tuum maximum gratiam favore eo auxiliis incolumnis eo salvas nos perduxiste nos quasi hic tuo namin eo una mento convenientia tua digneris per terra misericordia a tatias vita mea omnibus purgare sprucilias et carissimi tua filii Domini eo Redemptoris nomine Jesu Christi inter cadentibus meritis nobis condona quid contra leges tuas sanctas eo justas voluntas vel nesce vel negligentes verbo facto vel cogitatione et hanc usque horum offenderimus omne eo singule ut tibi jam possumus massa pura eo asima opere divina eo abundante sima fermentanda gratia eo tua caritatis igne in cordibus nostris perto accenso quasi quidem proportionis eo sacta in templo tuo efficiemer panis et sit nobis in terram vetustum Dominus nostris Jesus Christus panis vita quem gustando sua perpetuum mete igitur nunc loca eo veritatem tuam o Deus omnipotent sempiterna viva eo vera eo tuo Stephano noster autem serenissimo gratiosissimok rege appariat to Deum nostrum verum vivam omnipotentem doctorum nostrum in eas actionibus eo mysteries esse me ante licet peccatis obnoxium voto eo conatu magno fidele tuum, eo suncerium esse servatum omniaque tua jussa mehe maxim exo cora nosca singularibus into autem mundi exordium preordionis esse honoribus into sancto servateo strectandis, etc. Edward Kelly said, nihil post primus parcibus apparabat, diced brevis secundus faca. Eo adhuc nihil apparabat tertias adiois etiam brevis pos tertias ex lapide quidem calor in faciam ipsius. Edward Kelly said, exir videbatur circa lapides orum eo cimbreum rubicundas verides circulus apparabat. Edward Kelly said, jam video hominum alibis indutum vestibus eo secundis faci longa sparsis crenibus eo adius natu quasi un dentibus eo dexter pex stuns super magnum lapidum rotundum eo sinister super aquam eo post dorsum adjus magna lux est nunc vedio terram sub pedibus adjus sed quasi in are videtur esse tam lapis ipse quam aqua ille. And he said, sit benedictus Deus noster, eo fiat voluntas adjus, aqua Christus que versus accidentem est, pedem adjus videtur secundum se prees deferre. Videtur este longo a me esse cum intuor faciam adjus, interdum una apparet esse, interdum tres facies eo ita consulso quadam modo. And Edward Kelly said, audio magnum vocum decentum vena eo vide. Edward Kelly further said, descendit jam alter ad illum quasi globus igneus cum faci eminente eo ab adjus corpora quasi verga arundinea videtur a maner. And the entity said, inspecse eo examinabe eo ecce nulla est justicia vox in terris aqua in mare eo fiat falsa quia ecce tertia viola est plena. Edward Kelly said, jam venit ignis eo illum totum circundat aliquo minimo circa idud recto intervallo sibi proximo. Vox said, mensurave sigillum est. 52. quinquaginta duo est ecce tum pleno testita il misericordia vis ector tu quod eprius es meam asquare inquit dominus visitarum Stephanum humiliat sem etiarum. Edward Kelly said, inclinat caput suum quia ecce leabeo quod dicam eo ecce habeo eo labio mehe confuta sunt. And I guess that's where I'll have to stop and